The street is folded under white. The city keeps its knees drawn in, a hush that holds the edges of the night. A slow steps across the frozen glass. The world exhales and slows. I watch the light slip from the storefronts. Every window keeps a small glow. Your breath becomes a lantern, small and steady in my palms. The sound of distant tires, soft as thoughts, and I forget alarms. Under lampposts, silver lines, the air writes secret names. The hush translates the rooftops into quiet frames. I let the silence teach me how to float between two lights, how to keep my beating small and gentle through the white. A slow steps across the frozen glass. The world exhales and slows. The same small city rhythm moves in comfortable repose. I tuck my day inside a coat and fold the corners neat. I carry little rooms of warmth where street and shadow meet. Under lampposts, silver lines, the air writes secret names, and every little heartbeat learns to play a softer game. I draw the map of memory on the window of my mind, and watch the snow keep falling till the edges are resigned. If I listen close, I'll find the map the night has made, a lattice of unspoken things, a slower kind of trade. I trade my hurried edges for a pocket of gentle light, and for a moment, for an hour, everything is right. Under lampposts, silver lines, the city hums in low. I keep my voice beneath the snow, a whisper that will grow. The hush becomes a doorway, a thin translucent veil. I walk the quiet boulevard where every care is pale. The first light finds the snow and makes it keep its glow. I close my eyes, breathe shallow, let the evening go. A little light, a little hush, the world in gentle repeat. Window frames collect the night like tiny patient eyes. I fold my hands around a cup and let the afternoon subside. Outside, snow arranges itself into a softer plan. It lifts the edges off the world and teaches me to stand. Near the corner bakery, the neon hums in blue. The footprints trace a language that I almost knew. I trace the lines of yesterday and learn voices small against the room, a whisper and a thread. I hum a low, uncomplicated tune before I head to bed. Near the corner bakery, the steam becomes a veil. Each passing car like paper boats that glint and then set sail. I let the quiet gather like a scarf around my chest, and when I say your name, it sounds like sheltering request. If loneliness was rainfall, it would fall soft and fine, but under the hush of snowfall, even aching learns to shine. I keep a small warm center, a pulse that's mine alone, and in the hush of midnight you become a steady tone. Near the corner bakery, the neon hums in blue. The city holds its stories and I hold a few. I tuck them in like letters, fold them neat and small, and hum the glass street lullaby until the dawn will call. The night holds everything and keeps it for a while. I breathe, I let it cover me. The city wears a smile. A thin white road that keeps unrolling through the dark. The street is stitched in silver thread, each lamp a careful stitch. My coat is heavy with the night, my breath a little glitch. I watch the world fold softer, edges lose their spite, and listen for small answers in the hush of winter night. There's a rhythm to the falling, measured, steady, slow. It writes a kind of patience on the places we don't know. I let my thoughts be smaller, keep the window dimly lit. The city turns into a hush where restless maps unfit. The buildings stand like open books, their pages lined with frost. I feel the careful geometry of all the gentle loss. My voice is like a paper boat sent out to drift and float. It finds a quiet harbor in the spill of nighttime note. There's a rhythm to the falling, I follow it with care. It teaches how to soften when the air is thin and bare. I fold a little memory and put it on the shelf to come back to when morning asks me for myself. Snowline after midnight draws a map I can't ignore. It shows me where the quiet ends and where I might explore. If I could move like snowfall, unafraid to slow and land, I'd learn the patient cadence that the city understands. There's a rhythm to the falling, the lamps keep their small vows. The hush collects the city in a tender kind of house. I trace the edges of The falling keeps its own unhurried pace. I fold myself into the snow and find a quiet place. Lantern lights breathing slow, in the dark. Hollow Avenue is breathing slow. The lamps like patient eyes. They mark a path through blank white pages and forgotten ties. I walk with one small song inside, a compass made of hush, every step a punctuation in the soft and falling brush. In the curve of every corner there's a note I almost know. It's written like a secret in the way that lanterns glow. I fold the world into a palm, keep warmth against the cold, and think of tender sentences I never quite once told. Hollow Avenue is breathing slow. The trees hold steady watch. They keep a row of tiny sparks like vows we never botch. My voice becomes a lantern too, a gentle steady beam. It paints a little pathway through the midnight and the dream. In the curve of every corner there's a song of quiet days. I follow low and steady lines that break the city's haze. I let the hush unwrap me, I let the snow decide, and find a small forgiveness living on the other side. If lights can be remembers, then lanterns keep the past. They hold the little histories and make them soft and vast. I breathe into the darkness and the darkness gives me room, a patient kind of silence where the small candles bloom. In the curve of every corner, every echo finds its place. The avenue becomes a hush that maps the human face. I walk with care and quietly I learn to be complete. The lanterns hum a lullaby that's steady, warm and sweet. Lanterns on Hollow Avenue, I keep them in my sight and let the snow finish the verse before the morning light. hangs low and reads the city like a book. A crosswalk's empty like a stage, the signals blink in time. I press my palms into the pockets where yesterday unwinds. The moon is paper, fragile, cut and folded, kept afloat. It answers every question with a kindness in its note. There's a hush that keeps the streetlights like small patient friends. The world recedes to silhouette where loneliness pretends. I practice saying softer things until they sound like truth, and let the paper moon remind me of my youth. The crosswalk's empty like a stage. My steps are measured slow. I hold a simple script of breath and let the cold winds go. There is a small and secret warmth that hums beneath my skin, a tiny persistent glow that keeps the night within. There's a hush that keeps the streetlights, the signals count the time. They mark the tender passages where ordinary minds align. I think of quiet victories and days that simply passed, and find a tender gravity that anchors me at last. If every empty crosswalk is a chance to start again, then paper moons and hollow streets might teach the heart to mend. I fold my doubts like paper and set them on the breeze. Watch them lift and scatter through the lattice of the trees. There's a hush that keeps the streetlights like soft and steady drums. The city counts the seconds and the thin light hums. I walk along the margin where the midnight feels its best, and let the paper moon forgive the day and all the rest. Paper moon, keep floating, keep my small light in view. I carry all these quiet things until the morning's blue. Frost lamps trembling softly in the quiet air. Street corners keep their stories in a thin and glowing line. I walk between the halos like they're keeping me in time. My breath unwinds in silver threads that drift and disappear. I listen for the softer truths that only snow can hear. Whispers underneath the frost lamps tell a quiet tale, the kind that lives between the lights when all the cars grow pale. I hold my worries loosely like a scarf around my chest, and let the winter's silence start convincing me to rest. My footsteps sound like folded notes placed gently on the ground. The air is soft enough to catch each small and tender sound. I hum a low and fragile tune that blends into the night, a melody that Whispers underneath the frost lamp speak in subtle signs. They mark the little victories along the narrow lines. I warm my palms together and watch each worry fade. The stillness forms a shelter that the city quietly made. If quiet has a language, it is written here in snow. A slow and kind instruction on the ways that hearts can grow. I follow it with gentle steps, the frost lamps as my guide, and feel a softer certainty uncoil from deep inside. Whispers underneath the frost lamps gather near my skin. I breathe them in like something pure and feel the night begin. The world is holding stillness like a lantern cupped in hands. I walk within its brightness, learning how the silence stands. Frost lamps flicker low and keep the city warm enough. I wrap myself in quiet and remember I am tough. The snow is velvet under every step I take. The footprints fade before I see them, swallowed in the night. A soft and gentle erasure that feels strangely right. The world is muted, folded like a blanket on a chair, and every shadow lengthens into peaceful, quiet air. Silent steps on velvet snow, the city wrapped in white. The tension of the daylight softened by the night. I feel the weight I carried start dissolving in the glow, and let the cold remind me of the things I used to know. I wander past the shuttered shops and watch my breathing rise. A rising cloud of warmth against the still and distant skies. The echoes of my heartbeat blend into the open street and leave a steady comfort pulsing underneath my feet. Silent steps on velvet snow, the world a smaller place, a temporary refuge with a calm and tender face. I think about my yesterdays, the ones I couldn't slow, and let them drift like whispers on the path of falling snow. If softness had a consequence, it'd be this quiet night, where everything familiar seems washed in gentle light. I breathe the cold, I breathe again, I breathe and let things be. The velvet snow reminding me of who I'm meant to be. Silent steps on velvet snow, a rhythm soft and true. The city hums a lullaby that drifts in muted blue. I wander home with loosened keeps telling me to rest. Windows glowing softly in the midwinter hush. Every window holds a story lit in quiet yellow light. Each one breathing out a comfort to the darkness of the night. I walk by in a rhythmic calm, my heart beats slow and low. The city wearing tenderness, the way the frost will grow. Midwinter window glow, a lantern in the cold, a promise made in quiet hues that never will unfold. I take its warmth in small doses, tuck it in my chest and feel a trace of ease return as if I've been confessed. The cat behind the window blinks a silhouette in gold, reminding me how peaceful even worn out hearts can hold. My breath becomes a misty cloud that drifts along my lips, a quiet conversation with the night as tension slips. Midwinter window glow, a softness I admire. It burns with quiet strength like embers under fading fire. I stand a moment longer just to take in all its light, then move into the snowfall with my steps made feather light. Sometimes the smallest brightness is enough to change the air, to lift a heavy memory or soften old despair. A window with its gentle glow can teach the heart to slow, reminding me that warmth exists wherever I may go. Midwinter window glow, a shelter in the freeze, a little piece of humanness that puts my mind at ease. I breathe its golden promise in and let the cold winds blow. My heart a tiny lantern with its own midwinter glow. Tiny lights in winter nights, I take them as they come. Snowdrifts pile like letters I forgot to send. The wind delivers memories I haven't read in years. They settle on the windowsill and soften all my fears. I feel the weight of yesterday dissolve into the air. The snow collects my scattered thoughts with subtle, patient care. Snowdrift letters unsent, folded in the white. They gather at my doorstep in the middle of the night. I kneel to read their messages, the ones I never wrote, and hear the hidden tenderness in every gentle note. And I walk along the quiet path where lamplight leaks in gold, and If silence had a memory, it'd keep these folded lines, the ones I meant to whisper but forgot in tangled times. Tonight I let the snow fall, write the words I couldn't say, and let the quiet teach me I can speak again someday. Snowdrift letters sunset rest softly by my feet. I let the quiet gather them in rhythm slow and sweet. When morning comes I'll carry them, the words I tried to hide, and let the thawing daylight turn them warm from deep inside. Snowdrifts hold my stories till I learn to tell them whole. Cold air moves gently, carrying our echoes. The winter air remembers us in quiet little ways, in shadows stretched across the street and fading holiday haze. The cold keeps tiny echoes of the conversations past, and holds them like a treasure waiting gently to be asked. Cold air that remembers us moves softly through the night. It carries all the footprints we forgot beneath the light. I breathe it in with gratitude, the kind that warms the chest, and feel the gentle remnants of the moments I love best. A whisper from a window drifts into the dusky snow, a memory of laughter from a place I used to know. The season wraps around me in a scarf of muted blue, and teaches me that endings can be beautiful and true. Cold air that remembers us, it never leaves too soon. It holds the quiet fragments like a soft and distant tune. I close my eyes and let it play, a melody of trust, a song that's made of tender things the cold air won't adjust. If time is made of moments, then winter slows them down. It keeps each fragile echo from easily being drowned. I stand beneath the street lamp and inhale the subtle light, and find the pieces of myself I lost in warmer nights. Cold air that remembers us still lingers by my side. I let it fill the spaces where forgotten hopes reside. A quiet reassurance carried gently through the blue, that even in the coldest nights I'm holding something true. The air remembers softly, and I remember too. A pale street halo circling the falling snow. The road is draped in softness and the lamps draw golden lines. I follow them like pathways into calm. softly weighted gown. I let the night take over, let the cold unspool the day, and breathe the silver silence that won't hurry me away. My shadow stretches softly as I wander through the glow. I'm moving piece of warmth against the drifting weightless snow. The city whispers lullabies in muted shades of white, and every freezing breath becomes a lantern in the night. On under the pale street halo, I feel my worries fade. The chaos from the daytime, losing all the noise it made. The quiet never questions, never asks for me to be. It simply offers space within the winter's dignity. If stillness is a memory, it's resting here tonight. Within the halo's tenderness, a ring of borrowed light. I step inside its circle, leave my burdens at the door, and let the winter hold me like it's done for years before. Under the pale street halo, I find a softer truth, a kindness in the cold that reassures me like my youth. I walk along its edges with a mind that's turning slow, and feel the night, remember everything I used to know. A pale street halo waiting for another quiet night. The night breeze rings with tones as clear as glass. The breeze is thin and shimmering, a ribbon through the dark. It touches every rooftop with a cold but gentle spark. My breath becomes a tiny cloud that trembles in the air and floats into the silence like a thought I used to share. Glass tone night breeze drifting past my ears. It carries every memory I've held for quiet years. I let it brush against me like a slow and fragile chord, a piece of winter music that my heart has long adored. I walk where all the streetlights hum their low and softened tunes, the shadows stretching slowly like unwinding silver runes. The breeze caresses gently like a ghost of something kind, a signal from the winter that my soul is still aligned. Glass tone night breeze whispering its truth, revealing simple tenderness I lost along my youth. It cools the burning moments that I struggle to let go, and smooths the jagged edges with the softness of its flow. If clarity could visit in a cold and fleeting way, it'd come along this night breeze just to ask me if I'm okay. It rings in tiny overtones that settle in my chest, a crystalline reminder that I've tried my very best. Glass tone night breeze drifting through the white. It hums a secret lullaby that feels like pure midnight. I take its voice inside me as the snow begins to freeze, and walk into the quiet with the glass tone night breeze. Clear and cold, the night breeze calls me gently home. Snowfall gathers softly, keeping all I left unsaid. The snow absorbs the footsteps that I leave behind tonight, erasing all the moments that I struggle not to fight. Its gentle drifting quiet is a comfort I can trust. It gathers all the heartache in the harmless shining dust. Snowfall keeps my secrets underneath its silver sheets, holding all the things I lost and all my small defeats. I breathe into the winter as the world begins to blur, and feel a softer understanding settle deep in her. The windows glow with stories I will never fully know, yet somehow they remind me that it's fine to let things go. The cold becomes a confidant that listens in the night, absorbing every truth I fear beneath its bluish light. Snowfall keeps my secrets like a frozen, fragile friend. It never asks for reasons, and it doesn't judge the end. Its hush becomes a space where all my tangled feelings land and fold themselves in stillness like a letter in my hand. If quiet had a promise, it would bloom in nights like this, where snow becomes a keeper of the thoughts I often miss. I let it gather gently all the worries in my mind, and trust the drifting silence to return the ones I need to find. Snowfall keeps my secrets in a world so soft and slow. It warms the coldest corners with the peace I long to know. I step into its quiet with a heart that feels reset, and trust the winter softly with the things I still regret. Snowfall keeps my story safe until I breathe again. Light falls softly and my footprints fade behind me. The path is long and quiet in the sleepy winter air. My steps erase themselves as if they never once were there. The world feels strangely weightless as I wander through the glow. every frozen breath becomes a lantern in the snow. Footprints fade where the light falls slow, telling me to loosen what I never meant to hold. I follow where the street lamps draw their quiet golden lines, and let the tender rhythm of the snowfall calm my mind. I listen to the echoes of the day that's slipping past, the ones that felt so heavy but were never built to last. The night accepts the pieces that I struggled to let go, and wraps them in the hush of ever gentle falling snow. Footprints fade where the light falls thin, inviting me to walk again without the weight within. I warm my hands together as the cold begins to bite, and feel the night restoring something fragile into light. If fading could be beautiful, then here is where it lives, in footprints disappearing as the winter softly gives a chance to move in quiet with the burdens melting slow, a chance to start again beneath the ever-falling snow. Footprints fade where the light falls blue, a sign that every ending holds a quiet something new. I breathe the night around me as the shadows shift and call, and lose my weight in softness where the light begins to fall. Light and snow erase the past with gentle certainty. Night slowly fades into a calm of white. The sky is painted silver by the breath of winter clouds. It settles on the rooftops and erases all the crowds. The air is filled with softness that I rarely ever feel, a tenderness so quiet that it almost seems unreal. Night fades into white calm in a rhythm slow and sure, a soft and careful medicine, a quiet kind of cure. I breathe it in with gratitude and let the cold unwind, and feel the gentle shelter soften corners in my mind. The street becomes a canvas where the snow begins to write, a line of drifting poetry that glows beneath the light. I follow where it leads me with a heart made lighter still, the winter offering silence as a steadying refill. Night fades into white calm like a whispered lullaby, a tender recollection from a once forgotten sky. It fills the empty spaces that I held from days before, and leaves me with a quiet I'm not frightened of anymore. If gently by the breeze. I close my eyes a moment and let winter hold its claim. A soft reminder whispered that I'm not the one to blame. Night fades into white calm, a moment meant to stay. A sanctuary forming in the drifting cold and gray. I walk into its quiet with a steadying inhale and let the winter write me in its peaceful silver tale. White calm settles slowly, holding everything in play. Soft lights floating in the cold, lanterns glowing just to guide my soul. I breathe in the silent air, watching snow trace memories everywhere. Tiny sparks drift through the night, painting shadows in a tender light. Told a quiet truth, frozen signs of a fading youth. I walk slow, afraid to break all the stillness winter makes. Shadows stretch into the white, blurring edges of my sight. Soft reflections on the ground echo back without a sound. If I wander long enough, will I find pieces that I left behind? Snowflakes whisper like they know where the sleepless hearts will go. Tiny voices in the air tell me someone else has walked here. Their footsteps melt into mine. Quarter dreams, soft reflections in the icy beams. Cold wind hums its hazy tune underneath a silver moon. Footsteps echo lost in time, yet they fall in gentle rhyme. Every turn reveals a glow only winter nights can show. If I wander long enough, will I find pieces that I left behind? Snowflakes whisper like they know where the sleepless hearts will go. They surround me as I breathe, as if urging me to leave. Worries scattered on the floor like the snow outside my door. To something warm I somehow lacked. Maybe these lights are meant to guide parts of me I used to hide. In the quiet I start to see what this gentle night wants me to be. A softer voice, a calmer mind, a place where peace is easy to find. If I wander long enough, will I find all the pieces that I left behind? Snowflakes whisper like they know where the sleepless hearts will go. Tiny lanterns lead the way till the blue turns into gray. mother's arm, and as morning starts to glow, I walk slower through the snow. Windows fogged from gentle breath, city lights asleep in perfect rest. Wheels glide through velvet snow on a road only silence seems to know. The engine hums a lullaby under the deep and frozen sky. The street corners fading into blur, every moment feels unsure. I follow lines of fading gold, stories in the dark unfold. Snowflakes settle on the hood, painting scenes I never could. Every sign along the street keeps my heartbeat soft and neat. Frozen whispers passing by, soft as clouds in a winter sky. I keep driving just to feel something gentle, something real. Every mile pulls me in like a memory born again. Snow dust dances in the beams, guarding all my fragile dreams. Rearview mirrors glow with white, tracing moments through the night. Signals blink like quiet songs, echoing where I belong. Shadows drift across the lane, washing over old remains. Breath fog slow inside the car, like I'm holding who we are. Frozen whispers passing by, soft as clouds in a winter sky. I keep driving just to feel something gentle, something real. Let the night unfold my mind, leaving heavy thoughts behind. Whispers follow where I steer, telling me I'm safe right here. Maybe the road knows my name, maybe the snow forgives my shame. Maybe the hum beneath my hands understands what life demands. And as the violet night expands, everything feels less unplanned. Snowy silence wraps my fear, giving me a place to hear. Frozen whispers passing by, soft as clouds in a winter sky. I keep driving just to feel something gentle, something real. Let this quiet guide me home, even when I ride alone. Snow drifts slow as I fade from view into a night painted soft and blue. In the hush of falling snow, I hear a breath so soft and slow. Cold air settles on my skin, inviting quietness within. Crystal dust floats silently, as if time moves carefully. Crystals form on window glass, moments frozen as they pass. Winter rolls me in its arms, far away from noise and harm. Every sound becomes a sigh, hovering beneath the sky. Stillness draws a fragile line around this little world a quiet breath with me in this fragile reverie. Every worry drifts away in the calm of this white ballet. Let your heart be slow and fall till you barely feel at all. Softness melts the weight inside, leaving nothing left to hide. Faint reminders, gentle calls, echo softly through the halls. Snow collects on every frame, softly whispering my name. Watching flakes dissolve in air feels like letting go of care. Every shimmer, every spark balances the inner dark. Take a quiet breath with me in this fragile reverie. Every worry drifts away in the calm of this white ballet. Feel the stillness settle deep, like a song you long to keep. Let the cold embrace your bones till the night becomes your home. Maybe peace was always near, waiting for a night this clear. Maybe I just had to slow to hear the quiet winter glow. When I breathe, the world expands, slipping through my open hands. Yet in this hush I finally see the gentler side of being me. Take a quiet breath with me in this fragile reverie. Every worry drifts away in the calm of this white ballet. Let the softness fill your chest in a way that feels like rest. Crystal air fades into dawn, but its tenderness lives on. Melting snow runs down the street, soft and warm beneath my feet. Echoes shimmer through the air, like fading dreams still linger in there. Little droplets weave and glide, tracing paths we used to hide. Footprints blur and drift away, tracing hours of yesterday. Sidewalks glisten in the light, breaking through the end of night. Cold winds hum their final tune as the shadows realign with noon. The frozen spell begins to break with every tiny sound I make. Snow melt echoes call my name, soft and slow but not the same. Every drop becomes a sign of a memory once mine. Gentle lines dissolve and bend, marking where the seasons end. Streams run thin beneath the glow, carrying the past they know. Street lamps flicker with the thought, painting scenes I thought I saw. Corners drip with softened white, letting go of endless night. Ice retreats from hidden doors, leaving whispers on the floors. Every step feels like a blend of something lost and something mended. Snow melt echoes call my name, soft and slow but not the same. Every drop becomes a sign of a memory once mine. If I touch the water's flow, will it tell me where to go? All these lines beneath my feet show the rhythm of retreat. If I follow where they go, will they guide me through the snow? Will they lead me to a place where warmth begins to trace? Sometimes endings gently bloom in the quiet leaving room. Snow dissolves without a fight, turning darkness into light. Snow melt echoes call my name, soft and slow but not the same. Every drop becomes a sign of a memory once mine. As the thought begins to grow, I feel something start to show. Snow fades into gentle rain, but its echo will remain. Night holds its final breath. Snow drifts in a fading silhouette. A quiet glow begins to rise, soft as sleep behind my eyes. Clouds hang low above the street, where the moon and morning meet. Empty streets in silver blue carry whispers drifting through. Every step I took tonight finds its peace in gentle light. Street lamps hum a softer tone, telling me I'm not alone. Even shadows seem to rest as the world moves east to west. This is the last snow before dawn, here for a moment then it's gone. I hold the calm the darkness gave, close to the warmth I start to crave. Every flake that hits the ground makes a barely there sound, like the night's last lullaby before the sun begins to rise. All the thoughts I couldn't say melt into the slipping gray. Frozen air becomes a sigh as morning starts to brush the sky. Footsteps slow beneath my coat, warmth collects inside my throat. Nighttime secrets lose their weight as the stars evaporate. This is the last snow before dawn, here for a moment then it's gone. I hold the calm the darkness gave, close to the warmth I start to crave. In this fleeting winter glow, I release what I can't show. Let the stillness settle in, where a new day can begin. And when the day begins to bloom, I'll leave behind this gentle gloom, but keep the softness in my chest, a quiet place for me to rest. Sometimes the night reveals our truth, the tenderness we lose in youth. And though the darkness fades away, it leaves a piece that wants to stay. This is the last snow before dawn.